Hello everyone. Back again with bizarre recaps. In this video, I will recap a thriller film from 2014, The Loft. The opening scene takes us to a police interrogation room where Vincent is being questioned about a murder. He repeatedly says that it was staged to frame him. The police ask him to take them through the events of that morning. It all starts when Luke enters the loft and sees the dead body of a woman face down on the bed. The sheets are all bloody too. Luke quickly calls Vincent and asks him to come there as soon as possible. Vincent suspects a breaking in, but there is no sign of that. The killer has used a key to get in. There are only 5 keys in existence. Luke is now in interrogation, but he denies having any knowledge about the loft. But the police have already found out enough details about the place. The loft is the place where Vincent and his 4 friends used to carry out their secret affairs without their wives knowing. Back at the loft, Chris and Marty arrive and can't believe what is happening. They suspect the other friend Philip for this, because he is the one absent. Chris turns the body a little bit, but can't recognize her. Cut to the flashback of the opening ceremony of the building, which was designed by Vincent, who is an architect. A beautiful blonde woman named Morris approaches Chris and starts a conversation. Chris is a psychologist and has treated his sister. Chris's wife does not seem to be very happy to see them. We also get to meet Philip, who is an irresponsible, immature guy. After the party, Vincent brings his friends to the loft, tells them what he plans, and asks them to join. Present day, Luke starts to freak out and tries to leave, but the others calm him down. Marty finds a Latin message written on the wall with blood. Fatum nos jungibit, meaning fate will reunite us. The police accuse Chris because he knows Latin, but he explains the grammatical error of the phrase, which he would have written correctly. Philip shows up at the loft, but he also seems to not know anything about it. Back at Philip's wedding, Vincent gifts him a key to the loft as a present. Everyone accepts their key, except Chris, who has no idea of using it. While talking, Marty makes an inappropriate comment about Philip's sister, Zoe, which angers him. Meanwhile, Chris meets and the two start flirting, which ends up with Chris taking the key to the loft from Vincent. Present day, Vincent asks if anyone has lost their keys. They all show their keys, except Chris, who doesn't have it on him at the moment. Flashbacks to a dinner party at Chris's place. We can see that Chris and his wife are having some problems in their relationship. They were talking about one of their bosses getting caught cheating on his wife. Marty accidentally drops some hints about their loft, endangering their secret. Luke makes him fall off the chair to change the topic. Luke and his wife go to the bathroom to give him a diabetes injection. She asks if he is hiding anything from her, which he denies. Back at the loft, the men are still trying to figure out what is going on. Vincent believes that someone is trying to frame them. At the time when Chris brings into the loft, he reveals his love for her and his decision to leave his wife for her. This upsets her, and she tells him that she is a prostitute, so they can't be together. Marty is now being interrogated by the cops. It is revealed that his wife is leaving him because she found out that he cheated on her on the San Diego business trip. Next, we are shown the flashbacks of the business trip. While Vincent, Marty, and Luke are having drinks, a girl named Dana comes to them. Marty wants to send her away because she is not slim, but Vincent explains that with every fat chick, there is a hot chick. They also meet Philip's father-in-law, Hiram Fry, and talk about an upcoming project, and was also there as the assistant of Joel Collin. Chris keeps calling, but she ignores her. His wife suspects him of something after seeing his strange behavior. As Vincent explained, a beautiful girl named Sarah walks to them as Dana's friend. 5 of them walk to the roof, and Vincent gets into the pool with Sarah, while Luke is watching. This affair continues for quite some time, but Vincent has called it off the previous night, so it is revealed that he was at the loft last night. As he was about to explain, the phone started to ring. It's a realtor who wants to see the loft as it has been listed for sale. She says that she has an appointment with Sarah Deakins. Vincent tells them that Sarah is the woman on the bed. However, they don't have a clue about who listed the loft for sale. Flashbacks of when Chris followed into a store. He is pleading with her to come with her, but she refuses. She asks him how many women has he taken to the loft beside her. To gain her trust, he gives her the key to the loft. Philip picks up the bloody knife and starts accusing Vincent of the murder. After the heated argument, the knife lands on Vincent's hand. After that, Luke reveals a shocking secret. He has been recording everything that happened in the loft. The guys get angry and hit him for breaking their trust. But he says that he didn't record last night because he was unaware of Vincent's arrival. Next, we are shown flashbacks of a fundraiser event that happened the previous night. Vincent tells his wife that he will not be joining her on the ski trip. Allison and Chris are having a Cold War. Chris receives a text from and he follows her to the bathroom. Joel follows Chris to the bathroom and tells Vincent is playing with fire. From their conversation, we learn that someone paid to sleep with Chris. Philip starts a fight with the guy who was with his sister Zoe, making a scene. Embarrassed, Zoe hugs Vincent while crying. But Sarah wasn't too happy to see this. She asks if he loves her, to which he replies yes. Sarah decides to tell Vincent's wife about their affair and walks toward her. But Luke bumps into her and stops her at the right time. Back to the present day at the loft, Vincent suddenly starts feeling dizzy and collapses onto the ground. The others have drugged him. It turns out they were there this morning before Vincent arrived. Luke found her lying dead on the bed with sleeping pills and a note next to her. When others wonder where Vincent is, Luke says that he didn't call him and shows the videotapes that he recorded. It turns out Vincent hasn't been a good friend after all, because he has slept with Mart's wife and Philip's sister. It was Vincent who paid to sleep with Chris, so he will share the loft with them. Feeling enraged, the men decide to frame Vincent for the suicide. As others leave the loft, Philip stays and handcuffs her, cuts her wrists, and writes the Latin phrase on the wall as it was in her note. They toss him naked onto the bed, handcuffs to the body, and leave them. Despite his pleading, the police have enough evidence to believe that Vincent is responsible for her suicide. However, the police have learned that the sleeping pills didn't kill her and she didn't cut her wrist. And there was no suicide note. So now this is considered murder. Chris reached for his jacket pocket for the note, but it was missing. Later that night, when Luke comes to the loft, Chris is already there. Chris has found out that Luke is the one who put the loft for sale, and he also is certain that Luke stole the note and threw it into garbage because Sarah didn't write it. Luke has no option but to confess everything. Luke is in love with Sarah but gets rejected by her. He goes to the loft after Vincent leaves and drugs her, then injects insulin for a quick and painless death, then writes a note to make it look like a suicide. Chris tells him that it didn't kill her, but Philip's knife did. Chris doesn't want Vincent to get charged with murder, but Luke doesn't care. Luke takes a knife and approaches Chris and tells him to jump. We hear sirens as Chris has already told the cops about everything. They struggle and Chris picks up the knife. With no other option left, Luke decides to end his life by falling from the balcony. Sometime later, Marty and his wife have been reunited. Vincent is divorced and lives in the loft alone. Chris meets and finally gets together. That's the end of the recap for The Loft 2014. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next video.